I feel bad for saying this out loud, but every single time I hear that there's been a fight in Major League Baseball, my brain automatically goes to Amir Garrett because, let's face it, the dude, he's about it. He's about that action. But anyways, what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, including the NL East. 3 teams are tied for first place, but not a single one of them are above 500, so it's kind of a dumpster fire over there. I'm hoping that the Mets can start scoring some runs, especially when DeGrom starts, because come on, that can't keep happening. Now, before I get into the rest of the video, look at what I pulled yesterday, a first Bowman out of 499 Blaze Jordan autograph card. I know a lot of you guys have no idea what I just said, but we pulled that over on my Twitch channel. Make sure you guys follow me there at Fuzzy from YT. We have a lot of fun. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the Dodgers because unfortunately we have some injury news to talk about. Dustin May, who has been dealing in 2021, he left the game with a right arm injury. We don't know if it's serious just yet. He's placed on the 10-day IL. A lot of other Dodgers have been suffering injuries, so it's just really not a good time to be a fan of LA. And yesterday it got even worse because Luis Urias has 3 home runs and is now up to a 115 OPS. He is very much enjoying playing the Dodgers. Brandon Woodruff was really good as the Brewers come back to walk it off. Seager has to make this play. Pretty much the Dodgers lost because he did not field his position and he has been pretty bad. Not Fernando Tatis Jr. bad to start 2021, but he is definitely not Francisco Lindor over there at shortstop. They are now on a 3-game losing streak. They are 3-10 in their last 13 games, and Mookie Betts is frustrated. He came out and said that the Dodgers have to stop wasting time. And to that I answer, there's a lot of time left, so there's nothing wrong with getting your bad baseball out the way early. Like, get your injuries and bad baseball out early before you get into the postseason. This is kind of like unintentional load management, kind of like what happened to LeBron. I am currently watching the Yankees versus Tigers game right now, and the Yankees are going for the sweep because yesterday they won 6-4. Aaron Judge over the last week has inserted himself right into the American League MVP conversation. He had 3 more RBIs. Gleyber Torres is finally starting to heat up, and Jameson Taillon, he gets his first win coming back from Tommy John surgery as well as overcoming cancer. Aroldis Chapman has been downright terrifying. The addition of his splitter has made him the most unhittable pitcher in baseball. In 9 innings, he's given up 0 runs and has 22 strikeouts. I would say right now, he is the most dominant relief pitcher since Mariano Rivera, so go figure. The Yankees, they have both of them. Josh Bell had his best game for his new team, the Washington Nationals, as Yan Gomes also wants it on the fun with a 2-run ding-dong. Bell was not done just yet as he clears the bases for Patrick Corbin, who was great, going 7 innings of 2 earned run baseball. So the Nationals, along with the other teams in the NL East, I really don't know what to make of them. There is so much baseball left, you can't really come up with assumptions on what's going to happen the rest of the way. The Kansas City Royals, what are they doing? They beat the Twins 11-3 yesterday. Salvador Perez, Whit Merrifield, and Andrew Benintendi, they combined for 8 runs batted in. The Royals are now 16-9 on the season, and I would say the large majority of that is in part because Danny Duffy has pretty much been Sandy Koufax. He goes 7 innings, only 1 earned run, and has 7 strikeouts. I believe he's up to 5 or 6 starts already in 2021. He has a not 1, a .6 ERA. He has been absolutely fantastic, so I wanted to go ahead and tip my cap. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. He's always had incredibly nasty stuff, but he's been very inconsistent with his location and giving up home runs, so maybe this is the year where he puts it all together. Moving on over to another AL Central matchup, the White Sox versus Cleveland. Tristan McKenzie, he walks 4 hitters in 1 inning, and then all of a sudden, I looked away, it was 1-0. I looked back about 2 seconds later, and it was 5-0 because Tim Anderson hits a grand slam to the opposite way. Michael Kopech was electric. 3 innings of scoreless baseball. He has been absolutely dominant to start the season. The only thing is the White Sox cannot seem to catch a break because every time they win, the Royals win as well. The Royals and the White Sox are 7-3 in their last 10 games, but because the Royals keep on winning, the White Sox are stuck at 2nd place. The A's have been scuffling just a little bit as of late after they rattled off 13 straight W's. They lose to the Orioles 8-4. There was a base clearing single. That doesn't really happen too often. Mark Canha, he saves it for a second, and then Jesus Luzardo, he has not been good this year. A wild pitch leads to yet another run, and it is not 2013, but Matt Harvey has won 3 consecutive starts, and he does it in a very weird fashion. In this third win in a row, he goes 5 2/3 innings, fantastic, 2 earned runs, really good, 1 strikeout. So he's getting it done kind of with location and not overpowering stuff. He has a 4 ERA on the season, so it's not like he is dominating opposing teams, but hey, 3 wins in a row? Not a lot of people in baseball can say that right now. Ooh, the drama continues between the Cubs and the Reds. If you don't remember, a few years ago, maybe even last year, Amir Garrett and I think Javier Baez got into a scuffle, and then this happened yet again. It's just Amir Garrett, again, I will say it one more time. He is all about that action, boss. So the Cubs beat the Reds, so they get the last laugh. Nico Hoerner scores in the third. Jason Hayward drives in a run, and then Nico Hoerner was back at it again as he grabs the lead. Amir Garrett, the only thing I don't understand about this is the fact that he's yelling, and this is a scoreboard moment. So he strikes out Anthony Rizzo. He's pumping his chest. This is my diamond. And he's losing, so I don't really understand that. And then Javier Baez comes out, and he pretty much wanted to go 1v1 on Rust versus Amir Garrett. Now, luckily, again, for the Cubs, they escape with the victory. Kimbrel almost implodes for the first time, but he Ks 2 hitters and then gets a rollover. So, again, the Cubs get the last laugh. They win 3-2. The Astros have been dominating the Rays ever since the ALCS ended. Bregman with an RBI single, and then Yuli Gurriel with 2 RBIs right after that. Jose Urquidy was sensational, going 7 scoreless innings, only walked 1 hitter, and that was his 26th birthday. I thought that he was maybe 29, 30 years old, so they have a pretty solid 3 or 4 starter. Once they get Verlander back and Whitley is healthy, and also, who's the other guy? Framber Valdez. Once he's back, the Astros are going to have a very formidable rotation. They are now only a half game back of first place, and they are the only team in the entire American League West with a positive run differential. So they've outscored their opponents, while every other team in that division has not. Moving on over to the Mets versus the Phillies, one of the best rivalries in baseball, along with the Padres versus Dodgers. The Red Sox versus Yankees has kind of faded off. I'm hoping that we can get another, Joe Kelly versus Tyler Austin moment, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. The Mets pop off for 4 runs in the first inning, and the Phillies, they show some dog. They fight back to tie it up at 4 apiece, and then Michael Conforto with a much-needed home run. Both him and Francisco Lindor have been struggling mightily, but he gives the Mets a lead just a game after, Dominic Smith and Jose Alvarado almost got in a brawl. So 3 teams are now tied for first place in the NL East. Next up, we have the Cardinals versus the Pirates. Paul DeJong hits a 3-run home run, and Frazier, I do have to say, even though the Pirates lose 12-5, this was one of the best plays I've seen of the year. That kind of just made the Cardinals upset as Nolan Arenado goes off for 3 RBIs. We have Williams coming in for a pinch hit 2-run home run, and Flaherty gets his 5th straight win. So he says, Matt Harvey, you won 3. I'm going to do you better. I've won 5 straight, so good for the Cardinals. They escape with a victory. Nate Lowe will not stop raking against opposing pitchers. Kiner Falefa and Willie Calhoun, they reclaim the lead. And I do want to note that Nate Lowe has a .462 batting average with runners in scoring position and 22 RBIs. That doesn't even make sense. The Red Sox, they are now 5-5 in their last 10 after starting off pretty hot. The Blue Jays faced off against the Braves yesterday, and they won 6-5, so just barely. Pache returns in grand fashion. I literally mean that as he hits a grand slam, but George Springer was even better. He answers back with his first home run as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Acuna, he hits his 9th home run of the season, so he is now tied with JD Martinez for first place, but then Springer does it again. He homers on a 3-0 count, 470 feet, and then they get the walk-off W. So again, like I mentioned, when that lineup is healthy and they're playing like they're supposed to, watch the heck out. The Rockies, they have a very scary guy on their team. We'll talk about him in just a minute. Ryan McMahon is also scary, but he's not the guy. He had a 2 RBI single, Trevor Story homers, and then Dom Nunez, for a catcher, is having a very solid season. With that grand slam, he is now up to 5 home runs and an almost 140 OPS plus, when the average OPS plus is 100. So he has been terrific. The Rockies are now top 10 in runs and OPS without Nolan Arenado, so it's not bad, but still, they should have gotten more in that trade, and maybe throwing in $50 million was not the best idea. I want to showcase Justin Lawrence because a few days ago, he set the record for the hardest pitch thrown ever at the lowest arm angle, 101 miles an hour, basically from the side. He came in yesterday and just looked absolutely unfair. I mean, how are you supposed to hit this? I promise you guys, I'm not trying to ignore the Giants or the Mariners or any West Coast teams. Just the way that it goes, those games always end latest, so I have to write those last last on my script. So the Padres versus the Giants. Machado took care of business in terms of run support with a 3-run home run. Blake Snell picks up his first W as a member of the Padres, and Jurickson Profar, as well as Jake Cronenworth, they add the insurance runs. The Padres win their 3rd game in a row and are now tied for 2nd place with the Dodgers in that division behind the Giants. Okay, so the Giants are scuffling, the Padres are winning at the right time. Mike Trout is essentially Hank Aaron or steroid taking A-Rod when he is at T-Mobile Park. He hits another home run. Jared Walsh has some fun as well, adding 2 home runs, and Anthony Rendon drives in 4 RBIs. I want to note that over his last 56 games, Jared Walsh has 15 home runs and a 174 OPS. He's been absolutely locked in. Griffith Canning, very dominant start, 5 1/3, no runs allowed, and 9 strikeouts. They are now 1.5 games back to first place. But like I mentioned throughout the video, so many divisions in baseball are wide open. Whether it's the NL East, no team in that division even has a 500 record, or the other divisions that we talked about where it's 1.5, a half game separating them from 3rd and 1st place. That does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be live on Twitch, so if you guys want to see me opening up more packs, please go follow me there. Stay safe and enjoy this day in MLB history.
How long are they going to worship this guy?
Hey! We got Cy Young winners over here.
Hi, Tom.
Chicks dig the long ball.